Income tax in art sale, Part 2. This is Simon of Dongnam Accounting Corporation in Seoul, Korea. We are a member of Elliott Global Alliance, which is an international network of CPAs and lawyers around the world. General tax law regarding business income and other income. There are general law. Business income is when a person engages in a certain business continuously and repeatedly. Other income, when a person engages in a certain business temporarily and passingly, only one time or two times. And deductible expense, in the case of business income, the actual expense like purchase price and admin expense would be deducted. And other income, instead of actual expense, a certain rate of necessary expense, which is very generous usually, is allowed as a deduction. Withholding tax rate is business income 3.3% of the payment would be withheld by the payer. So payer do not give all, give only 96.7% and 3.3% will be withheld. And in the case of other income, most of the cases 60% of necessary expense is allowed. So this means that actual rate of withholding tax is 22% multiplied by 40% equal 8.8%. Preliminary or final, business income usually, most of the cases preliminary. So during May next year, a seller is required to file income tax return to the tax office voluntarily. And in the case of other income, there are two kinds of withholding. When the yearly other income after deduction is less than 3 million Korean won, then the taxpayer can choose between preliminary and final. It's the taxpayer's discretion. Number two, when the yearly other income after deduction is 3 million Korean won or more, then it should be preliminary. Preliminary only. When this is considered preliminary, then the progressive rate will be applied. The progressive tax rate is from the lowest 6.6% including local tax and highest 95.5%, 49.5% including local tax when the taxable income is more than 1 billion Korean won. This is a new type table effective from the January 1st of 2023. Exception to general rule of income, other income when it comes to art sales. The expense deduction rate is, general rule is 60%, but art sale is 90% or 80%. More generous. And the actual withholding rate is, general rule is 8.8%, but art sale is 2.2 or 4.4%, far smaller rate. Preliminary or final. In general rule, when the yearly other income after deduction is 3 million or more, then preliminary should be preliminary. So progressive rate should be applied. But art sales, this is a very big exception. Even though the yearly other income after deduction is 3 million or more, still the withholding is final. So the fixed tax rate will be applied. No progressive rate will be applied. So this is a very good tax benefit. So make a real computation of comparison. In case of other income, the sales price is 3 billion, for example, and then necessary expenses, other income 90%, 2.7 billion, if the holding period is proven 10 years or more. If not proven, then for the first 100 million, 90% in excess will be 80%. But business income, for example, the purchase price is supposedly 1.5 billion Korean won. And then the taxable other income is, when it comes to other income, there's 300 million. The business income, 1.5 billion Korean won. So in this stage, the other income is far favorable. And even the tax rate is other income 22%, business income is progressive rate. In this case, the marginal rate is 49.5%, the highest rate. So the gap between the two widen. So in conclusion, when it comes to other income, the tax payable will be only 66 million Korea won. But in business income, it is more than 10 times, 669 million, almost 670 million, far bigger than the other income. Withholding by proxy. In the case of business income, only the business operator or corporation can withhold tax. However, in the case of other income, there is no such limitation. Therefore, every seller who earns other income needs to withhold tax when paid to the seller. When the buyers are foreigner reside in overseas, but it is practically impossible for them to withhold the tax and pay it to Korea tax office. So in this case, very special case, government instructs the seller to withhold tax on behalf of the buyer and pay it to Korea tax office. This tax paid by seller will be offset later against the tax payable of the seller as kind of prepaid tax. Thanks for being with us. For details, please do not hesitate to contact our email. Please read our disclaimer shortly. Thank you very much.